The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
You are listening to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with a sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Sports Network. Listen in as Brent and Dave invite you to belly up to the bar with them to talk about everything in the world of sports, just like you would do at your favorite watering hole. It's sports, beer, and shenanigans. So belly up to the bar with us, grab a beverage, and let's get into it.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 beer sports talk and a whole lot more for this 28th day of December 2023. Today's show, as always, is brought to you by SeatGeek.com and the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save for $20 on your first purchase over there at SeatGeek. Remember, we are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Just got done with the Belly Up Christmas party there. It was actually nice to see some faces to put to faces to voices, I guess. Remember, go to bellyupsports.com for all the great articles, another great podcast, which is the Corner Booth Podcast, Rise to the Occasion, and my favorite, the guys over there at Crap Brewed Sports. I haven't had a chance to listen to that one or watch that. I usually watch that one on the Tuesday nights live on YouTube. And thank you very much for everybody who's listened to us. Our last show of the year, Dave, 2023. We'll get into our highs and lows of 23 and some screaming hot takes of 2024. But can you believe another year? The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. We got through it rather unscathed. We had a good year. Things are on the up and up around here, 1420 World Headquarters. And you are going on holidays tomorrow.
Yep, leaving tomorrow. This time tomorrow, I will be, my ass will be parked maybe on a couch, but definitely down in Whitefish, Montana. Good news, bad news. The ski hill is in absolute disarray. They don't got no fucking snow down there. So the hill's open. So I don't know what we're going to do during the day, me and the boy. And, you know, I can't, he's not old enough. I can't fucking go to the Bulldog and spend a day there watching
You might
bowl
be able
games.
to go for a bucket of wings and a pint, though.
Yes. Where it's not going to be a shift. But yeah. It's they're
not doing the old shifts like we used to pull back on New Year's Day.
Yep.
Yeah. What are you drinking tonight? I see you got something different in your hand there. Glass of milk.
It's my eggnog. I've been doing it all for the month of December. I've been starting the show off with a refreshing eggnog, and we're running out of it. Thank Christ, because I'm about done with it. I've had my share of eggnog. I like it for the festive season, and I am going to finish it off. I managed to snow through a 26er of Kraken, so I guess I've had enough in the last couple of weeks here.
It's funny how we talk about the shifts we used to pull at the Bulldog Saloon down in Whitefish, Montana. There were some lengthy, joyous shifts. There's no getting around that. But that then the same breath you're talking about a bucket of Kraken there, 26er. That we used to try to get those done in about a 4-hour shift. Now you're probably a 4-week shift when that's all said and done.
I bought the bottle of Kraken and my 2-liter of eggnog, and believe it or not, the Kraken. I ran out of Kraken before I ran out of the eggnog.
There you go, not a bad thing.
That's my for the festive season. I've been having an eggnog to start our shows, and then I switch to the beer. My 355 millimeters are sitting right beside me here.
There it is. Your Denver Broncos are hanging on by a thread. You called their season pretty much over on, I think it was Tuesday night. We sat down and got another show out there, but you pretty much called their season over with their latest loss and everything else. And they're still making the headlines this week. They've been headline material for for quite some time, all season long, since that big loss to Miami. And then the head coach Peyton and him and Russell Wilson not been getting along throughout the season. That's no mystery to not just Bronco fans, but the football watchers across the board in general. But now they've made the way, pretty much saying they're going to bench Wilson for the last couple of games this season, even though they're still in a playoff hunt, allegedly, mathematically still alive. But then they said that's it. And then all the reports are out there that they're probably going to release him once his first paycheck is due, and on and on. So the accountants and lawyers are taking care of that deal. I'm not surprised at what's happening, Dave, but I'm surprised about the finances of it all, because this is kind of going to hamstring the Broncos a little bit for a couple of years, because they're kind of going to be, unless they can trade Wilson, which I don't think is possible considering the amount of money he's going to warrant, unless they can eat some salary. What was your take when you first started reading all this hoo-ha that's coming out, that's first started coming out yesterday?
Well, I saw it, and then you have to read, because the NFL salary cap issue and dead cap money and this and that, it's a bit of a slog, and it took me more than one article to read before I actually kind of figured it out. So the Broncos, they're benching him because they don't want him to get hurt. And why they don't, they're on the hook for $39 million next year. Yeah, there's no that's what Russell Wilson is going to make from the Denver Broncos next year, no matter if he's on the couch or playing for the Baltimore Ravens. It doesn't matter. But if he doesn't pass his physical in March, meaning like if he gets hurt or whatever and has a broken leg, then they're on the hook for $37 million the next year. So I think this is a brilliant play, because Russell Wilson is not the answer. If you want to fucking C+ quarterback, fucking have at her. Russell Wilson has shown that he cannot be the guy to work with Sean Payton. And I said it a couple of weeks ago. I wrote the season off when they lost to Detroit. When Denver got a little bit hot there, and I said if they win this game in Detroit, they're going to make the playoffs. They lost, and then he comes and fucking Russell Wilson lays a goddamn stinker in, and well, Detroit is the one where he got on that sideline scrap with Sean Payton, and then he lays a stinker with fucking against England at home. Finally, they get back home, and then the game is in the balance, and then you can't you go 3 and out. 3 drives in a row in the fourth quarter when the game is there. Russell Wilson is not a winner. He's not a fucking winner. He's all about himself, and fuck that guy. And I was happy when they signed him. I was really quite optimistic, but that guy's so fucking full of himself. I can't wait to see the Greyhound taking his fat fucking ass down the road.
No, I agree that he's not the guy, but the thing that bothers me about these deals that go sideways for GMs, because he got this deal before he even played. He got traded, then he signed the extension. My problem with these situations, Dave, is that this gives GMs and management teams and whoever is involved in the process a free pass for making a bad decision. And like when a player makes a bad decision, they usually get cut. And we've talked about this in the past, where when you have a GMs kind of go, well, we tried. And then like, where is the fucking accountability for the whoever the GM was, or whoever the owners, or whoever was in charge of that situation, who had an out clause somewhere? Yes, it's smart to get the out clause, and it's smart to have that in the contract and how it's worded, and having the CBA guys, everything else. But who in their right mind gives a 35-year-old quarterback a 5-year extension at that kind of money for no reason whatsoever? Like, at what point do you think that Russell Wilson was going to be the guy to take you to the promised land? That, to me, like, Wilson's not going to say no to the contract, because everybody who's listening to this show, every podcast, TV show, whatever it might be about salaries, who complain about it, nobody says no to that contract. The guy who's getting a free fucking pass is whoever the GM who signed him to this fucking deal. That's the problem. That's the one I have a problem with, Dave, is that these guys have a free pass. Go, well, we tried. No, we gave it a shot. Didn't work.
I agree 100%. I don't know how this Patton guy still has a fucking job, because it's still going to cost. It's
still going to cost whoever. Yes, $35 million. It's still $35 million.
Well, yeah, it's like they've hamstrung. Never $35 million plus players, plus 2 first rounders and a second rounder and a 5th rounder.
On and on it goes.
This really fucking hurts the organization. It hurts it a lot
for years to come.
Right. And so next year it's going to be, well, we got to fucking eat this, because what do? You go another year with this piece of shit? Like, if you want Kirk Cousins, take Kirk Cousins. Here's Russell Wilson. Here's another Kirk Cousins, and the egomaniac and like the what happened last year with Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson. That was it was an awful year for the franchise that I cheer for, and then now you got someone who knows what they're doing in Sean Payton and says this isn't how we run an organization. Where the fuck is the GM? And then I got it just
too.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. He's the one. It's like, so this Patton's his last name, like George Patton. I don't know. Like, he must be really good. Yeah. George Patton, something Patton. That's his last name's Patton.
Not the same guy, obviously, I hope, but no.
Well, because the other guys should be fucking worm food for quite some time now.
A few years, at least.
I don't know how you explain this to the new boss, right? Like, kind of like we said in Ottawa, right? Like, you know, like, hey, new boss, how you doing? Like, yeah, I see the checks aren't bouncing, and you know, what the fuck is going on with this? What'd you do here? Explain yourself. I don't know, because once again, like we've said it before, these GMs, like, what a great job to go in there and like, and never touch your wallet for everything, get paid a couple $1 million a year and spend hundreds of millions of dollars a year of someone else's money. And that's what this guy's, and without any accountability, because not only is this Russ Wilson thing not working out, we're going to be paying him $39 million next year to not play for us. That's
because realistically,
prohibitive.
Because if it all works out for Wilson, which it's going to, he's rich beyond his wildest dreams. Obviously, next year he's going to have $39 million in his pocket to not play for the Broncos, and that's a guarantee. And I can't remember how it was worded. I don't want to bore people by the semantics of it all, but there's a good chance he's going to make $84 million the next 2 years against the Broncos cap, not playing for the Broncos.
Well, yeah, like, so it's
right, like, is that
dead money cap? Yeah, like, yeah, something like the Broncos.
Like, he never plays again, never gets picked up by anybody else. He's going to get $84 million to not play in the National Football League, which I'm thinking will probably be sufficient for the remainder of his life. I'm assuming.
I don't know that for sure. For sure, $39 million. But
I saw 84 pop up a few times today. But
no, but that's the dead cap money that Denver's going to have to pay. Like, so, like, not pay, but like that goes against their salary cap, right? So I don't think the full 85 is going to Russ.
Oh, it's going in someone's pocket.
But $85 million is goes against their salary cap for over the next 2 years, whether he's playing for him or not. And once again, the NFL salary cap is that's fucking.
Yeah, it's more than math 12 or math 30, whatever I took in high school.
I can't do trigonometry, let alone fucking working abacus for that kind of shit. But nonetheless, it was bad. It was bad. And then I get this that general manager at times you want to swing for the fences, but when you swing for the fences and don't make contact, you know what? You strike out. And then when you strike out too many times, you're looking for a new fucking team to swing the bat for. And I think this is what that has to happen with this Patton guy. I don't know if he saved his job by hiring Sean Payton. I don't know. I do not know. We'll have to see what happens next year. But, like, you know, it's disheartening for a fan of that franchise right now, because you have high hopes.
The one thing I like about it, and I don't like I'm not a Peyton guy at all. I think he's an arrogant prick personally, but that's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter. I do like that he kind of got ahead of one of the players a little bit. He said he got ahead of the star quarterback and said, you know, we can't get rid of the offensive line. We can't get all new receivers. So this guy's he didn't. I'm paraphrasing here.
These are the tools I have to work with. So
he said, it's easy to get rid of one guy than it is 8 guys or whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
And I agree. And it is a bit refreshing that a coach was able to say that I can get rid of, because usually it's the coach that get rid of one coach instead of 20 hockey players or baseball players or whatever it might be. So it was a little refreshing for the first time in almost pro sports history where a coach was, you know what, I'm staying, he's leaving. Because usually it doesn't work out that way.
Right.
Actually, like 99 times out of 100, it don't work out that way. This is the one time in my memory that a coach was spared and the player was like, you know what, thanks, bye, see ya.
Well, it's not spared. This one's a little bit different, right? They brought in Peyton to try and get the train back on the tracks because at the Nathaniel Hackett fucking gong show last year, giving Russ an office and a
The
party
suite
room
in the office and everything else,
on the coach's floor. It's like that fucking shit shouldn't happen. So like Peyton comes in, and it's not only does he have to do this, he has to kind of reset the culture, and then. You know, and you know, I see all this shit. You got to feel bad for Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's been handling this with just the utmost grace and poise, and he's never said a bad word. Like that fucking prick won't say shit if his mouth was full of it. Fuck you. Like, you know, just fuck you, Russ.
Yeah, what do people expect him to say?
Yeah, right? You prima donna motherfucker. Where do you get off asking for it?
I find it funny that people are saying that are saying that. Like, well, what are you supposed to say? Fuck him. He's got fucking 150 million in the bank already. What's he give a shit?
He's wiping his ass with $100. Of
course, he's gonna say, like, I got cut. They're still paying me.
They treated me well. I like the franchise. I love living here. I feel bad for the.
Now I can sit the bench next 2 weeks, and in fact, they can put me in the fucking press box next 2 weeks. I don't care.
Yeah, like, and you know what? And you're only like you're not going to go because if you break your fucking leg, they're on the hook for another $37 million for your fucking underperforming ass. And then they say, look at his stats. Look at his stats.
I agree. I agree with you, Dave. He underperformed, but maybe somebody thought he was going to overachieve. Like he got paid to be a good quarterback in a Pete Carroll system that had a great defense in fucking in Seattle for a long time. Like I never would have had Russell Wilson in my top 10 ever. Manageable, great, good, yep, done. Put him in here, put him in there, put him in here.
Fringe top 10, right? Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
And only because he won something, right? Like I would never have thought of it would never if Seattle wouldn't have won that one Super Bowl and went the other one when they should have passed the ball or handed off to Marshawn Lynch on whatever. I would never, if he didn't have that one Super Bowl, I wouldn't have put him in the top 10. I wouldn't have. Like he's a comparison to a fucking NHL goaltender.
Don't compare him to that. Compare him to quarterbacks of the last generation, right? Like, so he's obviously behind Brady, Rodgers, and Manning, and who else? Like he might be top 5, top 6. Who's better than him the last 10 years? Joe Flacco?
Pretty good team, right?
No, I once again I understand that, but who was better the last 10 years?
Like were teams winning in spite of him? Not in spite, or like goes.
I don't think so. Like he was mobile, he was throwing, and I get it. When you get older, you're not apt to run as much as you.
To get that contract at 35 years of age, where you're expected to run around like a fucking banshee, you're not getting. That's stupid. That's a stupid.
And that's not what was asked of him. And don't bring it that way. But you know, he still does have some escapability. But you know, the other day there was a thing going out. I'll retweet it if I haven't already. He fucking had a clean pocket, as clean a pocket as you can get. And he ran around in fucking circles until he got sacked.
Well,
like he clearly has no clue. He's lost. He doesn't throw the ball downfield. Like, well, look at his completion percentage. Look at his fucking QBR rating. You know, if I can throw the fucking checkdowns and get a 40% completion rate.
See, the thing is, like when deals like this are coming down the pipeline, because it was a few weeks back. Was from what I read, he was given a hey, can you take a bit of a scale back on your contract, and that was after beating Kansas City.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's after beating Kansas City, which was an upset. And it's one of those things. Did he go? You know what? No. because you gave me this contract, so fuck you. I'm not going to take a pay cut because you know what? No, it's not my problem. And do you think maybe you know what? Fuck, watch this. If you want to fuck me, fuck you. Because he wouldn't be the first athlete to do that ever. Because if you got that much money in the bank already, Dave, like eventually sometimes, and no matter what realm of fucking professional business you're in, sometimes you know what? You've done it to a boss when you were fucking however years old. You know what? Fuck, watch. You think I'm slow now? Watch this. Fuck you. The writing was on the wall with Peyton. Because Peyton, like you said it before, Sean Payton was going to win this battle no matter what. No matter what, Peyton was going to win that battle. So he's like, you know what? You can fuck yourself. Watch this.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid, and I've already got enough money.
And I don't disagree. And I don't. Oh yeah, 100%. I do believe that the Broncos came, but that's what you have to do. Pat Mahomes took a pay cut. Tom Brady takes pay cuts. It's not uncommon to go to your quarterback and ask for a restructuring so you can sign some.
Not my problem.
And then he said, "Not my problem."
Not my problem.
Which is his right to do. But then let's not feel sorry for him. The Broncos aren't even eliminated from the playoffs, and how dare they do it? Well, because he lost. He laid a fucking egg against Detroit, who's, I think, one of the most overrated teams in the NFL. And then he lost at home to the New England Patriots and ran around in circles to take sacks. Fuck yourself. Like, you're not here for the team. You're here for yourself, D-Russ. So go, I want him gone yesterday.
No, Dave, I agree with you. He's not the guy for that team. I agree. And it hasn't gone well. I agree. But there is a good chance where he went, fuck you. Watch this.
Yeah. I think he's selfish. I think he's
if he's selfish that we all think he is, there's a great chance he went, oh fuck. If you think I was bad yesterday, wait till tomorrow.
Which may have happened. And I don't care.
And I don't like that coach, and fuck him, because guaranteed the writing was on the wall. This was brewing for a few weeks, and then we need the flexibility for payment, all the stuff, right? I don't guarantee you, because I don't know conspiracy theory stuff, that he went, all right, you don't want me to play? I'm not going to play. I'm not going to play the week you want me to play, since you already benched me in 2 weeks from now. Watch this. Fuck off.
He's not seeing the field because he's going to get turf toe or something like that.
Pay me.
And put him on the fucking hook for that extra
$37 million. And I have no problem with an athlete. And I'm more pro owner than you are 100% of the time. But this time, you know what? I'm pro player on this one. You know what? Fuck you. You sign me, you're going to pay me. Fuck off.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with this. My problem was with the Broncos organization for committing this much money and handing over so many assets for this thing. Like that was all in. Like they just pushed it all in on fucking day 2 of the Poker World Series, and all this one fuck. And now they're getting antied to death. Right?
Yeah, I got
and now it's just and now it's done. And then so now they gotta they're chipping a chair. Next year they gotta find someone and this is what you do, that's the good thing about it. They're going to be paying a quarterback under $5 million a year next year because that's it. They don't have the money and develop them and see what happens. Right. I'm optimistic about what's coming forward. It's not going to happen next year, but if they find a diamond in the rough, like a Brock Purdy, just do not sign fucking Joe Flacco. Do not sign fucking whoever. I don't want a retread.
Tyrod Taylor.
If you give me a fucking retread for a 5-year deal, I will be furious. Don't give me a retread.
The other quarterback thing that came up yesterday, I think it was, the the Giants decided to go with Tyrod Taylor for the game this week. I can't remember who they're playing.
They benched the Italian Stallion.
And they benched the Italian Stallion. Tommy DeVito is going to sit in the bench. And as soon as I saw that, once again, the conspiracy theory, Brent, got going a little bit. Because Tyrod Taylor is a free agent coming up this year. And you have Danny Dimes injured, sitting on the bench. Daniel Jones, he hasn't played since week 2 or 3, doesn't matter. And they're going to pay him $45 million next year to be an average quarterback. So that's what he is. But I got thinking, like, okay, they're going to Taylor because they don't want DeVito to play well. Because if DeVito plays well and doesn't start next season, and they go to Daniel Jones, who's going to go 0-3 to start the season, guaranteed. And then they have to go back to fucking DeVito at $800,000 a year, or $700,000, or eating chicken parm in his mom's basement. That's a bad look. The Giants don't want DeVito to succeed, because if he wins 2 or 3 games, or the last 2 games, or plays well, because Taylor's a free agent. He's gone no matter what. Like, he's gone. Yeah. And so if DeVito played well for the rest of this season and Jones starts next year, because he has to, at $45 million, ooh, the people in Jersey, which the fan of the van says that's where they are, not from New York, they would revolt. It'd be a bad look, and that's why giving these quarterbacks this kind of money is such a slippery slope. Because if a guy who isn't getting paid succeeds, and the guy who is getting paid doesn't succeed, and it's every sport. You're like, holy fuck, what are we gonna do here?
Well, that's the thing, and I remember talking about it like a year or 2 ago. It's like the teams with the quote unquote underpaid quarterbacks on their rookie deals are the ones that are winning Super Bowls. Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow last year. Well, not last year, 2 years ago.
DeVito wasn't winning Super Bowl, but he's making only making $400,000.
Hurts was still on his rookie deal. Fucking Russell Wilson won the Super Bowl on his rookie deal. It's all guys. I won't say all guys. A lot of guys on their rookie fucking deal because they have more money to spend other places. The Giants are going to be in a pickle because, well, you're committed to Danny Dimes for $45 million next year, and I believe the year after. So
3 more years. This is the first year was a big deal.
Yeah. So I don't know what you do. And then we talk about it. And I think there's going to be there has to be a shift because you see, quarterbacks are getting hurt more than they ever have, right? They set a record for it's 110 different quarterbacks have started games this year. That's a bit of a hyperbole, but it's been a lot of fucking quarterbacks that have started games this year. 3-4 different teams have had 4 different starting quarterbacks. We're looking at the Jets here right now, and it's Trevor Siemian. He's the 4th fucking quarterback that started a game for them this year. This ended with Joey Flacco, and that's the 4th.
Well, the thing with Flacco right now, because he's coming out of nowhere, and he was sitting on his couch at home doing nothing, maybe thinking about starting a podcast, maybe, and everything else, and then all of a sudden he's a starting quarterback in Cleveland. But I would put money on it. This has been talked about before, but I would put money on Deshaun Watson's, hoping that the Browns win Super Bowl. Okay, then I don't got to play anymore. Because he was $240 guaranteed.
And that's another thing that
guaranteed. So now he's like, if Flacco wins, Flacco's going to get a 3-year deal.
Flacco ain't getting a 3-year deal anymore.
How do you not give a Super Bowl champion a 3-year deal somewhere? Filling it with Denver Bronco.
Ask Big Dick Nick. You know what? And the Broncos even tried signing that smelt.
If Flacco wins a Super Bowl, which it's pretty. Not for sure.
It's not likely, but possible.
Not likely, but they got a more than a puncher's chance right now.
He has a better chance than Russell Wilson.
He's got a better chance than a lot. Look, if you had to put fucking whatever your curling broom behind you there on Dak Prescott and the fucking Dallas Cowboys or Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns, I'm taking Flacco and the Browns.
Yeah, same.
Right. And
yeah.
and the NFC fucking championship might end up going through fucking Dallas.
He ain't getting a 3-year deal. There's
Somebody
no
will
way.
pay him. Owners are stupid. GMs are stupider.
Yeah, you're right, and you're not wrong. So where do people like that? Like, where does Russell Wilson go? Where does fucking Flacco go? I would, if you're the Carolina Panthers, well, they got someone like. If you're the Pittsburgh Steelers,
Go Flacco.
Flacco before Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
How about Minnesota?
No, they bring Cousins back.
You think?
Oh yeah.
I think
Hasn't been bad.
I would bring Russell there because it's fucking average shit. You're not asking Cousins.
I actually think that a guy like Russell Wilson is more likely to not play. That he won't get much interest for that kind of money.
Just go home and pray.
And he'll be all right. I won't play anymore. I'm good. What
about the Raiders? What about a return home? Because apparently they're not interested. Seattle's not interested in bringing Geno Smith back.
No, it's in any sport it's tough going home.
That
never works.
That well is tainted, eh? You can't.
Like once you leave, that's it. In any sport, like I can't think of one at the top of my head where a guy went back for the second go around that worked out very well.
You can't go home again.
Bon Jovi, he sang a song. Who says you can't go home? Well, Brent Relentlessly tell you right now, you can't go home. Once it's over, it's over.
Until it's time to sign that.
Just time to sign the one-day contract. Yeah, I'm out. I believe that. Like it never works out well because the big dog isn't the big dog anymore. There's somebody in that spot, right? And so when I walk in the dressing room, like, well, why are you in my stall? Well, this is my seat now, asshole.
So, so Albert Pujols came back to the Cards.
But he almost quit.
But that was that was a farewell tour, right?
Like that was a farewell tour. They were expecting to do very well, and they didn't. The team wasn't very good.
Yeah, they were out of the race.
But when a team wants to be a contender to go back to the well again, I can't think of one. Like I honestly, I can't think of anything fucking.
What about Billy Martin?
Took him 7 fucking times, didn't work out good there either.
He got a ring or two in there.
Because he got fired
5 times.
Fired 5 or 6 times, and I think they won that one 77 or 78. And they brought him back again after that.
Yeah,
right, a couple of times in the 80s. It didn't work out.
Fucking chewed Reggie Jackson a new asshole for hitting.
Actually, as you say, there's something on one of the TVs here at the tavern about talking about Reggie getting fucking the 3 home runs and everything else. Sitting with Billy Martin right there. Actually, it's kind of funny. So
October.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know. It's crazy that the GMs so often get these free passes. We've talked about it before, that they get these passes and just. Okay, man. Like they eventually get fired too. Every GM gets fired, but to just fucking to blow someone's money, man, I'd like that gig for a year.
Oh Jesus, just for 6 months, eh? Right, and just like in 6 months, like this trade set Denver back. Like it really sets the franchise back, and you're pushing all the chips in. And when you do something like this, there's no way you can't do it without talking to the owner. But then this Patton guy, he didn't have an owner at that time. It was like a board of governors and everything with the Pat Bullen family because the kids couldn't figure it out and who was going to run it. So he just had to snow a couple people. So there's no one person looking at him and pointing a finger right in his fucking chest. You better be right.
But even if you're not,
bye. Get fucking bent.
Oh fuck! I tried.
Yeah, or give me your keys or something like that. Like
I gave it a shot.
I'm gonna punch you right in the fucking face. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
All right.
If you're a billionaire, fucking right. Come here. Walk into the room and just punch him right in the fucking nose.
I could take an 80-year-old punch in the face, and I'm a pussy. If an 80-year-old punched me in the face, I'm like, all right, that's all you got.
How about the 80-year-old personal bodyguard?
I still got a 2-year deal at fucking $2 million a year, 2.5 a year.
No, you're a billionaire.
It's in my contract. It can't be it can't be the owner's bodyguard or the owner's assistant. It has to be the owner punching me in the face.
That would still feel good. Like, as an owner,
for the owner, yeah. For 50-year-old GM Brent getting punched in the face, I'd wipe that off and fucking.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, you're right. You'd be able to wipe. You'd be able to wipe it off, right?
Wipe that one off. As long as I know what's coming.
But then,
if he surprises me.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a pussy, but I'm not that much.
But you take the first punch. If I'm whoever the fuck, Sam Walton the third or whoever the fuck.
If he's allowed to, I think the owner would. This is ridiculous, but I think the owner would have to have the punching clause in the contract that he's allowed to sucker you. That the GM.
Oh, without a doubt. It's like, come into my office.
I can't be ready. I can't brace myself for that punch.
Oh, without a doubt. That's how I envision it.
At any point, that owner can punch me at any point in the proceedings that are leading up to me getting fired, at the press conference where I got fired, or he can come to my house on my birthday and punch me.
No, the way I'd set it up, like, so if I'm the owner, you got the big office like we see in the movies and everything with the wet bar just on the other side of the door, and like knock down that, come in and you're pouring a drink and like, hey, boss, yeah, just over here. Like, can I get you something to drink? And as you poke your head around the corner to say, yeah, I'd like a whiskey, pop right in the fucking beak, right in the beak. You're fucking fired. I think
he's a foreign object, like wrestling style.
No, a punch, and then you got your bodyguard in the corner and stuff like that, and then.
And I can't punch back, right?
Yeah, well, punch back.
I would agree to that as a GM. Like, yeah, I spent fucking a bunch of your money. I get it.
You fuck this fucking franchise. You fucking fuck.
You only made me $3.6 billion last year, not 4.1. You motherfucker.
And I could have had my.
I could have been lifting a trophy on the stage instead of you.
I could have had my 15-year-old nephew running this franchise the way you did, and I'd still have as many trophies as
do you think it's actually not beyond the realm of possibility? And a lot of sports where there's times where, like, why am I paying this fucking guy?
Without a doubt,
$2 million a year when my fucking 15-year-old nephew, like you just said, my 15-year-old nephew,
who won his fantasy league last year,
he's an analytics nerd in whatever sport he watches, and the goal expectancy rate, he knows all of this stuff, and he's just doing it because he's a dork. You think it might come to that at some point? Because with all the analytics, I don't think it's too far away from that kind of a truth. Like, because all the stats are the stats. If you can build a spreadsheet. Bing, yeah. Well, the goals expected were this. The saves expected were this.
Well, and Jerry Jones has been running that fucking Dallas Cowboys in overriding draft picks for the last 20 fucking years. So, like, and we see what works there. Of course you can do that. Of course, like, anyone can fail. It's easy to fail. It's easy to spend someone's money. It's easy to have an excuse. It's hard to fucking win. And you need a little bit of luck at it too. And
I think you need more luck than people think. I really do.
Yeah, like, well, injuries was 100%, and then hitting low round draft picks. I think injuries and hitting low round draft picks are the most important things. And then signing up real talent, not fake talent, like fucking Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson.
Tonight I was on the Corner with podcast there, Belly Up podcast there, and a guy, Kelsey from Hilo Sports, played at Auburn, actually. He knows his stuff.
Played hockey at Auburn?
No, he played football. Yeah.
Okay.
He's not I don't know if Auburn has a hockey team, but they might. I can't say they're very good.
Nonetheless.
Anyways, and he said it best. Like, sports fans in general, they have it. Like, the top 5-6 picks, those ones are easy. right? And that like not like rounds. The top
Ask the
5 or 6
Edmonton
guys,
Oilers.
like
They
the top
even
5 or
fucked
6
that up.
guys, that's who they are. After that, she's a fucking crapshoot. It's just like who I hope. We're just plugging in spots. We're drafting the best available player because, like, yeah, I might have seen that guy play here. I might have seen that guy play there, but that's not who we're looking at, and everything else. So it's building a team's tough, and you got to fall into a player or 6.
Yeah,
Not 2,
or
six.
a couple
In
years.
any sport.
Yep. And it makes me
And
wonder.
then plan on losing for a couple of years to get over to here and get over to here, and then hope. Okay, well, next year I hope we finish in the bottom 4 again, because if all of a sudden we finish in the mediocre range, guess what happens? We're going to be mediocre again.
Right, because you can't hit those mid-round picks all
Every
the
time.
time.
You can't.
Every time you can't. You might get lucky once or twice, and then find one after the second. Like, once the second round of any sport starts, it's a crapshoot. And
Like in hockey's always been like after the top 10. Yeah, fuck, I don't know.
And even the best, like we talk about it, we use it as an example all the time, is the Detroit Red Wings back in the day. They got Lidstrom, Datsuk, and Zetterberg in the late rounds.
6 rounders and below, I think, yeah.
Yeah, 3 fucking Hall of Famers in the span of 4 years outside the first round. That's unheard of. These are Hall of Famers.
When you go to the stage of the draft, in the NHL draft, and your name isn't on the back of your jersey, they're like, I have no idea who you are, man. I have no clue.
Right.
Here.
And,
somebody told us you were the next best available player. It says Red Wings on the back. Like it's or whatever. Like it's
Well, they just have the jerseys. They don't have a name bar on the back of the.
For the top
anything.
6 or 7 guys, they do. Because they know those guys are going.
Right.
Like the top 10 guys, they have an idea who's going. Right, so they can put like just for use Jasper's name. They'll have Van Robe's on the back of his of a jersey if he's top 10 and to 1. Right.
But you know what? I don't even think they have that. They just have the jersey, and they have
a name bar Velcro. They'll have different name bars, right, for certain guys.
Yeah.
But after 10, they don't make name bars for fucking number 15.
That. Here you go.
They're not spending the money for the 15th name bar. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Just too fucking busy. Like, how many name bars are you gonna make?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's just we're not doing that. There's not enough interns on the planet to fucking do that.
Well, there is, but like, who fucking cares, right?
And who cares? Mom will make one, and we'll get a jersey made after draft day's done, whatever.
Yeah, go out for
and I'm sure when the jersey gets put in the basement downstairs, they're not putting the name on the back of the jersey. You know whose fucking house it is. They're putting the front of the jersey up.
The jersey, right? And just with a date and a signature, couple signatures on it.
Put the picture down below and whatever. Like
put that on your glory wall and fuck off.
Yeah, it's one of those things. So, no, it's interesting to see how it all pans out for the Broncos and all these teams that have just swing and miss on all these trades. Like it's crazy how many you if I had the time and it could be a research stuff 100%. Like these, like what's success, right? What is a successful season for these free agent signings and these different deals that happen? Like what would obviously Denver's not a success. But if a team wins a playoff game or a playoff round in baseball or hockey or football, whatever it might be, or basketball, these what's a success when you spend, let's say, a 3-year deal? Let's just do a hockey deal. Hockey's like Tavares. Tavares got 7 years at, I think, 13.
10.5, wasn't it?
10.5, whatever it was. No, it was 8 at 10.5. Think it doesn't matter. What's a success? What's a success to the owner? Because fans are whatever. If you don't win, it's not a success. But what's a success to the owner with those deals?
That's a good question.
Not draft guys, but a free agent signing that's like, okay, this is a big one. This is the guy we want. This guy we coveted. What's a success to these owners? Because that's an investment, man. Like hockey, 10.5 to 11 million, 14, whatever it might be. No, I think Tavares got 11. 11 at 7, I think.
But nonetheless, a significant chunk for a significant amount of time. Knowing full well that at the end of it, he's not going to be statistically, his on-ice production is not going to be worth that 10.5.
So 1 year left out of this year. And that deal was signed in 2000. That was 2018 he signed that deal.
So, you know, in any sport, you don't want a player to embarrass you or the franchise. And when I say that, I mean by like on the field production, I mean shit that goes on outside. I don't want any scandals. I don't want any drunk driving. I don't want any illegitimate children. That means a lot to the brand, right? And what you're going to do. And then also now you're a locker room guy. Like, fuck, the perfect example always and forever time I will use him. James Harden. Like, I don't understand why anyone ever wants him in their fucking locker room. He's not clutch. He's not a winner. And he's a fucking poopy pants.
Yeah.
And that's the player I will never want. Oh, he's the missing piece. He's never been the missing piece anywhere else. There's a lot of fucking puzzles got made without that fucking beard rolling around here thinking he's God. Yeah. So I don't get shit like that. My biggest thing as an owner, I want him to be productive, and I want him to project the franchise positively in everything. Like the Flames with Huberdeau, right? Like we harp on him. He seems like a pretty decent dude, and but now you're paying that guy
10.5.
10.5, way too much fucking money. And then you can't even use him you send him to the sick kid hospital and they're booing you. I was like, give us fucking Gio.
No, I don't want his autograph.
Yeah, no one wants it. Like he's a pariah. And I couldn't imagine being that player or the GM who happens to be in Toronto now.
In Toronto now, yeah.
Yes, that has signed that. Like, how do you rectify that fucking contract? Your highest paid player fucking sucks.
He's going to get 35 points this year.
Yeah, and the sick kids don't even want him at the hospital.
Well, they probably don't mind him being there.
Well, they'd prefer fucking...
I don't think little Timmy's booing him. Maybe his dad is, but whatever.
Yeah, it's like...
Couldn't you got me again, La?
Yeah, the Flames are coming today. Hooray! It's like, Huberdeau's going to be one of them. Oh, really?
Yeah, fuck.
Oh,
is there Jello? What time's Jello?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just...
Yeah.
It's you just wonder, like you honestly just wonder, like what when they like with Ohtani, you hate to keep going back there, but like with Ohtani, you get it because the business side of that deal was so big, right? Like it was half baseball, was half business, and anybody who wants to dispute that, go ahead and fucking get right back at us. But that deal was half baseball, half business. $70 million was an overpay for a guy who's going to pitch for another 3 years and then be a DH.
And in reality, it only costs him $48 million a year right now because
on and on.
Sure, yeah. But
like but
and he's not going to embarrass the franchise in any way, shape, or form.
It's a business decision that's going to make a lot of money. But what return on investment are you getting for other free agents like Russell Wilson? Like, what were they all of a sudden going to sell a bunch more? Fuck, I hate to keep going back to him. Just use anybody. Like, what's the ROI on fucking Russell Wilson signing with the fucking Broncos? Like, were they selling more jerseys? Were they going to sell more fucking tickets? No.
They were selling hope. They were selling
the
hope.
quarterback always sells more jerseys, right? Like that's an influx.
Correct.
Quick, and then it goes away quick.
Yeah,
they weren't getting a bigger TV deal because of Russell fucking Wilson.
No, well, and the checks coming from the networks are coming in.
Like the Denver media wasn't going to influx. It wasn't changing.
They didn't sell more because Denver's a good sports town, right? They sell out every game anyways. So. Yeah. You know, it's not a gate-driven team. It's not like it's a team that's trying to find their way right now, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating as a fan, and
it's odd.
You know, like Russell Wilson isn't the guy that was gonna get drunk driving or cheat on his wife or be caught in a strip joint. He's not that guy. He's not that guy.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, even now when everybody's like saying, like, oh, he's a stand-up guy, he's a stand-up guy. I get it. But at the end of the day, he's an employee that got hired to do this, and he can't do it. So hit the fucking bricks and take your $38 million severance check, $39 million severance check. So don't cry for Russell Wilson. Like, you can give him
I
his
don't think
flowers.
anybody is. I don't think Russell Wilson's crying for what Russell Wilson.
There's people online that are saying all Russ did deserved to get treated like this. Russ is getting a raw deal here. Fuck off. Be a fan of the team.
I believe that was a 50-50 fucking disaster. Because I once again, you follow the Broncos more than I do. But I think that Sean Payton's an absolute fucking prick, and he made life hell for Russell Wilson. And he was trying to make sure Russell Wilson fucking didn't succeed because Sean Payton has a contract for a long time. And he's supposed to be the Messiah in Denver. I think that Sean Payton made sure, because he was going to be around for a long time. I think Sean Payton was going to make sure that Russell Wilson was not part of the plans because it's not his fucking guy. Because I think Payton's a fucking prick.
And I've said this. I have zero issue with my head coach being a fucking prick. I have zero issue. As long as the team is buying in and doing what you're asking and you're telling them to do the right things, I have zero issue with my head coach being a fucking prick. But it was displayed on that Detroit Lions game. That was the penultimate moment of the season. Right when Russell Wilson couldn't fucking figure out what he was doing, and Sean Payton chewed his fucking ass out on the sideline, and Russell was like, "Oh fuck, let me go pray." Fuck that. That's when Sean Payton made up his mind. Was in Detroit because they turned it around, and I didn't want to buy in. And I said it week after week. I ain't buying in until we beat Detroit on the road. And they got their fucking asses handed to them. And Russell Wilson was one of the biggest reasons they got their asses handed to him. And that's when Sean Payton lost faith in Russell Wilson. So that's when, Sean Payton wants to win, and he gave fucking Russell Wilson every chance.
I disagree.
No, well, you didn't follow the team I did, so I win this one.
I disagree.
Well, fuck Russell Wilson. He's not a winner. He didn't fuck when it was time to fuck. He decided to walk.
You were high on them for a little bit, Dave.
Well, yeah, but I never was all in. I said time and time again. If they beat, no, fuck, go back to the tapes. I have full confidence is what I'm saying.
Peyton lover, he's a dick.
I'm not a Peyton lover. I'm a winner lover. Like, fuck, winning's better than losing.
That guy's a dick.
He's going to be a Hall of Fame coach.
He's a dick.
Well, it's not my fault. Who do you like? Who's your favorite NFL coach? Andy Reid?
I don't have one. I actually don't have one.
Pete Carroll.
I think that he's my favorite college coach. I don't have an NFL coach. I think they're all the same guy. I believe that. I think
it's a tough job.
I think it's not tough when you get good players. Like I don't think they're all the same fucking team.
I can't do that job.
If you have better, we don't do football. I think that coaches are a little overrated because every team gets a coach bump. Every team they have a chance to win because you get good players. The players do whatever they want.
I think coaching is the most important thing, most important hire you have in any professional sport now. But basketball, I don't know. I don't have a fucking clue what goes on with that. But hockey, baseball, and hockey and football, the coach is the most important hire you make.
I disagree. I 100% disagree.
It's understanding talent.
There's a reason why coaches make $4 million and players make 10, 40, 30.
Because there's 100 coaches for every one player.
Exactly. Right? I think coaches are fucking highly overrated. I really do. You can fucking insert coach here, insert coach there, and you give yourself just as good a chance to win.
Well, then why do ones like who's that fucker that won a cup with Sid Crosby and Penguins? He seemed like a pretty decent guy. Christ, can't remember his name. But he won a cup with Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And he's never had a job again. What about fuckface? Who's another one that won a cup and never won one again? Sorry, I didn't realize we were going this way, so the names are escaping me. But there's coaches out there that like just catch lightning in a bottle, the right guy at the right time. That's what
coaches do.
And they're fucking gone.
The ball bounce here, the ball bounce there. Guy hits a home run. Guy ties into one here. Guy does this. Guy does that. That's nothing to do with the coach. Nothing.
Better coach, Pat Burns or oh Christ, I had his
regular season 100%. Championships, nothing.
Pat Burns or the guy that coached the fucking Leafs and the Canucks and Team Canada. Pat Quinn, yeah. Who's better? They're the same guy, aren't they?
Same guy.
Pat Burns was a rookie coach with Pat Roy, so he has
you're managing players. You're managing people. I think coaching's fucking so overrated. I think they're all bullshit. Everybody is there fucking.
I 100% disagree because the talent level is so. I think the talent level
exactly
is more equitable than ever. So now it has to come down to coaching and goalie, right?
Show me a good coach.
Yeah, when you have a shit goalie, you have to change your style. Yeah.
Coaching's so overrated.
Disagree.
It really is. You manage people. You manage people. You don't manage fucking. You don't manage.
But isn't that's part of the job of the coach? It's not just. It's not just.
Over here, the puck bounces over there, and a guy ties into a fucking 3-2 pitch and in the bottom of the ninth, whatever. Like fuck.
But it's not just X's and O's. It is like it's X's and O's and people management, right? It's a ton, especially now. You need the X's and O's. If
a quarterback scrambles, he's got some great big fucking lineman running after him, and he makes some miraculous fucking pass to a wide receiver. Is that coaching? No.
But what coaching is great play.
It's Eli Manning's pass that to who's the guy caught it with his fingertips on
Tyree
his head?
Wilson.
Is that coaching? Is that coaching?
No.
Done.
Yeah, but that's a magical play, and that's like sports and all that kind of shit.
Eli Manning's going to the Hall of Fame because of that play.
Here's what I'm saying.
Coaching is so overrated, Dave. It's important. It's important, 100%. But if anybody thinks that a coach wins a championship, they're mistaken. Actually, you know what? I'm against this. There's a reason why they give the fucking championship trophy to the owner first. Talent wins. Talent wins championships, not coaching. Not coaching. No way. Crazy plays that happen. This guy did that's why championships won.
Craig Berube. So like that coaching change was like one of the things that changed that team's fortunes around. Larry Robinson with the New Jersey Devils. Like it happens. It never happens in the NFL, but in hockey it happens all the time. Whereas the change of coach bump, like like whether the team it has tuned out and says I'm not listening to this fucking asshole anymore, or just
you don't gain more talent.
No, but you gain because I think we agreed that the talent is so equitable and that everybody is so good. That it's just now realizing where your strengths are and being able to coach to the other team's weakness, right? That's why the Oilers lost to the Vegas Golden Knights last year in the playoffs because they got out-coached.
No, right? They got out-goalied.
Well, they got out-goalied and out-coached, but also Woodcroft.
Actually, their team was bigger.
We know that, but what's his nuts who got Woodcroft didn't want to pull Skinner. Should have pulled him 3 times. 3 different times. He should have pulled him in that series. But he didn't have the balls to do it.
Well, yeah.
So
no, I think coach I think coaches get way too much credit.
I think
they're important.
They get enough.
But I think they get a lot of credit they shouldn't get, because at the end of the day, if there's a broken play, you still need the talent to fucking. If there's a broken play, do they look over the sideline and go, "What do I do now?"
You are correct.
Right? No,
right?
I don't know.
But,
This wasn't a playbook. I'll just fall down.
But in the NFL, the coach would say, like, "Hey, if you would have hit the fucking guy in the slot on your first read, we would have had it 12 yards, right? But now you fucking scampered, and you've gained.
What if this guy jukes and that guy jives? Like, you can't fucking.
No, but like that's fuck. I don't know. It's
mistakes happen. Guys fall down.
Yeah, I get it, but you also have to do your job the first time as opposed to fucking around and wait until the last fucking minute too.
So I always laugh, and I don't know.
That's why I hate that Kyler Murray. Like, yeah,
like I laugh at this because like you see when they have, like, in the National Hockey League, they have those like when they call timeout with fucking 15 seconds left when there's a face off in the offensive zone, and they drop some fucking something. What if the puck bounces that way instead of that way? It don't mean fuck all.
A timeout in hockey is only so you can rest your power play unit or whatever.
Nothing. You draw something up on your etch a sketch. You go, what the fuck? If the puck, if we lose the face off and that guy goes out, I don't know what the fuck that guy's doing.
Timeouts in hockey ridiculous. Are stupid.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Well, if we win the draw clean, it goes back to fucking Al McInnes and he shoots as hard as he can, goes in the net. Well, no shit. No shit.
And none of this happens if we don't win the face-off.
We don't win the face-off, then what? We're just running around, fucking kicking our head cut off.
Then I want you guys to fucking really push them hard into the boards.
Yeah, then we'll go to the boards and hope we pop it out, go to the cycle, and hope in that 15-second time that we didn't win the face-off, that we get it back to Al McInnes, who isn't there because he retired in 1994. Fuck off, or whatever he retired.
Al, you just stay there cocked, because we're going to get you the puck.
We're going
to work so hard.
I think McKinnon's retired in 2004, 2005, but whatever.
Oh, fuck.
You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
But we lost.
And that's why I think coaching it's a bit overrated. Yes, you have to be able to control your team. Yes, you have to be able to manage personalities. But I really think that there's a pretty fine line between a good coach and a bad coach. Tortorella's been fired how many times? He's about to be number 7 all-time coaching in wins. So
yeah, no, I which I understand. I do understand, but he does have that one ring, and he's beating the shit out of that thing.
If you got bad players, you're probably a bad coach.
Yeah, and lately, right? He's never been the team with good players. It's always been it's been Vancouver, it's been Columbus, and now it's Philly, and they play good. They overperform because he obviously knows his systems. He knows what's required.
But no one right now is thinking Philly's going to win a cup. Because what he did even last season, he did what the Rangers did a few years ago. We're going to go through some growing pains. We're not going to have a good year. He bowed himself some time, right? Yeah, and if it turns out great. If it turns out bad, well, I told you it's going to be bad, right? Like it. Yeah. I think coaching is a bit like you need you can't have a bad coach, but yeah, if you have a good team, you're probably a pretty good coach.
Who would you rather coach your team, Bruce Boudreau or John Tortorella? Same talent. Like, I don't care. Pick your team.
If I had a young team that wasn't expected to win, Tortorella, learn the game a little bit. If I had a team that was close to winning something, I'd probably go with Brucey Boudreau. Just because a little motivation, a little bit. They've all heard this stuff. They've all heard this speech. It's like, okay, I know. I got a pinch. I get it. But I think Boudreau would be more of a motivator, whereas I think Tortorella is more of a. I listen to me. Whereas Boudreau's like, you guys are. I think Boudreau would be more of a motivator.
How about Mark Crawford or Daryl Sutter?
Sutter. For the same reasons.
Mark Crawford fell into that fucking Colorado job, eh?
Oh, 100%.
Like he just happened to be there when Sack and
100%.
Forsberg decided to get really fucking good.
100%.
Because he did fucking shit after that.
This is a great conversation.
I hate Mark Crawford. I can't stand him.
But everybody talks about how great of a coach Scotty Bowman was, right? Fuck, did he have some pretty good teams? You go back to Montreal, Guy Lafleur and Lapointe and Dryden and Net, and then you go to when he was in Pittsburgh. And then Detroit. He had some pretty decent teams to work with.
He didn't do too hot in Buffalo.
Why?
Well, because he found a better job someplace else. Yeah, I wonder why he makes you wonder why he even left Montreal in the first place. Right? Like all that fucking
a little bit. And that's what I personally think, and this isn't a screaming hot take, and I've been saying this for years before even podcasts were a thing. I've been saying this since fucking 1990, whatever the fuck, that Bowman's the most overrated coach in NHL history. Highest winning coach, but fuck me. Hey, open the gate, go. Lafleur, go. Lemieux, go. Yzerman, go. Think about
Is that a thing about being a head coach in the NHL? Then like, just don't fuck this up.
Don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck this up. Because that might be a thing. I don't know. Like, Boston last year, like, set the record for most wins, but that was a first-year coach. The coach they had before that, the players were like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here." That guy's a fucking dick. Maybe. I forget his name, and then they fired him, and then they hired this coach, and then they ripped off. Obviously, they fell short in the playoffs against.
Florida lost in Game 7.
Florida, but that's clearly a coach thing. Like the coach that they had before last year, that guy, they didn't give a fuck what he had to say, and they said, they said, the free agents and stuff. There's no fucking way I am playing for this guy one more fucking year, and that's what they said to Calgary too, right? There's not a chance I'm playing for this guy one more fucking game. And Calgary's no better when you look at the record. They're kind of
no better, no worse.
No better, no worse.
Same record, same players.
But they're having fun when they come to the rink.
Whee!
Hooray!
Hey, we're 3 games under 500, and we're not in the playoffs again.
I got a smile on my face when I'm cashing.
I'm happy to cash my check. Yeah, it's funny. It really is funny. It's just we talked about it before about because you're an old Oilers guy and I'm an Alberta guy, obviously, and like how great of a coach was Sather. Fuck, pretty good team.
No shit, right?
Pretty good team.
Gifted Wayne Gretzky fell into Messier, Coffee, and Fuhrer, and like gets fucking pretty easy.
There, go.
Yeah.
Go. Yeah. Oh, Yari, you're up. Okay, good. So that's why I've always thought that coaching's a bit overrated. But I mean, obviously it's important, but
I think it's more important now than it used to be. I honestly do. Like
I think motivating is different. Now I think motivating a guy and not banging on the fucking on the garbage can in the room, and I think it's just like because these guys are making so much money now.
You can't scare them anymore, right?
You can't scare them anymore, and finding a way that they are, and each guy is going to be different, right? Like what brings you to the field or the arena every day? Like I think that's a lot tougher than it used to be. Because back 30, 40 years ago in hockey, you would just say, okay, you're going to be working at the mine next week, so you better do what you're fucking told.
Right.
Okay. Right. So yeah. And that's any sport, I guess, when it comes down to it, because the money is so much different now. Now motivating guys is a lot harder than it used to be 40 years ago. And that's where I think coaching might come in handy.
The motivation, and then also promoting and developing a team unit, right? Because when the guys are together and guys are having fun together, right? Like when you like, there's no, I don't know if they have slump buster nights or anything like that anymore. Like, but you I don't know. But there has to be nights, and that's what happened with the St. Louis Blues. Yeah. And then obviously a core group of guys found that, and then I don't think it was the entire team, but when they started playing Gloria after wins, and then a good core of leaders were there that got the people that weren't the periphery guys who weren't part of the core, who didn't like going out, like they would have fun. And all of a sudden when everybody's having fun at the same time, that's a bonding moment. And if you can build on that, and then
you look at the Raiders, like the LA Raiders or the Vegas Raiders. Sorry, I went to all three teams, all three cities. The Vegas Raiders, they fired their coach. They're having fun in the dressing room. They're smoking cigars and they're having fun. They're winning, and they actually have a chance to win a division and make the playoffs. Right? Yeah. So that's more of a motivation thing, I think, than a schematic thing, because the guys are having fun.
They're having fun, and and that's also a part, right? They got immediate success by like ding dong, the witch is dead when they fired Josh McDaniel. Yeah, because that guy's never going to get a head coaching job again.
Well, that's like I said, there are bad coaches. I don't think. Okay, here it is. I think there's bad coaches. I don't think there's great coaches. I think there's coaches that fall into situations that make them great coaches.
Yeah, it's player and talent dependent, right? And that's like when we talk about Bill Belichick and he had the player in Tom Brady, who was an ultimate team guy, and Tom Brady could actually do his work in the locker room and on the field.
You look at
and he could be a curmudgeon and just X and O in the back.
What was that? The greatest show on Third, the crying all the time. Dick, was it Vitale? No, not Dick.
Yeah. Dick Vitale. Not Vitale.
Vitale was a basketball guy.
I'm looking at him. I'm looking. No,
what's
Vitale?
Vitale?
But anyway, Dick Vermeil.
Dick Vermeil. Yeah. But he ended up with, like, all of a sudden this fucking Kurt Warner guy turned out to be good, and then he had Torrey, like the receivers and everything else, and he coached in the NFL for a long time. He was shitty.
Well, he got
everything kind of just melt because he needed the talent, right?
Yeah.
Like, without talent, you don't win. There has never, Dave, in the history of sports, there's never been a bad team to win a championship.
Not necessarily. No, you're right.
Never.
Because that would be
you need guys who can play the game.
You're right. Because that would to say different would be disrespecting anyone that has a ring, and that's an accomplishment. No matter what sport you have, you've been through the battles, you've gotten to the ultimate thing, and you won the games you had to win. This Dick Vermeil cat, though, I think he was a bit of a visionary in the way he wanted to play football. He got the Eagles to Super Bowl, and he lost. And then when he got that Rams job, it just clicked. He had the players that could play the system he wanted to play perfectly. Similar to Showtime, right?
The Lakers.
With the Lakers, right? Like, first it was that Paul Westphal. Well, first it was the guy that hit his head in the bicycle
Portland
accident.
State, whatever it was, yeah.
Yeah, and then Paul Westphal, but then they had to count him for Pat Riley. And like Riley, it was like he had the players, and Pat Riley was in according to the show, that's kind of goofy that I'm gleaning my knowledge of the Lakers dynasty from.
But basketball is you have five guys in enclosed space.
But the style of basketball was different.
Possession means a lot more in basketball than does any other sport.
I disagree. It has nothing to do with possession. It's what you do with each possession. You're going to get 50. We're going to get 50. What are you going to do with your 50? Right? Possessions. That's what I mean. Yeah. Anyways.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, Dave, I got to have a piss, and we'll come back for some screaming hot takes from 2024. The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. For Beer Sports, talking a whole lot more. This segment was brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save $20 on your first purchase over there at SeatGeek. That was pretty good. Like, all of a sudden, we're an hour and 13 into this, Dave. Crazy.
Oh, I see that now too.
It felt like 3 minutes.
Every minute seems like a second. Every week seems like a day.
You're so full of shit. It is the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. For Beer Sports, talking a whole lot more.
Are you thinking of going to a game or a concert in the coming days ahead, or do you already have tickets and want to upgrade where you're sitting? It's simple. Go to SeatGeek.com or the SeatGeek app. They have tickets for all sports going on right now, as well as concert tickets to shows throughout North America. And to make things even better, use promo code 1420POD, that's 1420POD, and receive $20 off your first purchase. Once again, that's promo code 1420POD at SeatGeek.com or the SeatGeek app.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, for Beer Sports Talk and a whole lot more. Part of the Belly Up Media Network. Thanks to all of us there at bellyupsports.com for all the support they give us over this year of 2023, for all the different podcasts and guests we've had on the show over the year. Thank you very much. Dave, we're coming down to 2023. Let's hit it off right before everybody else does it. 2023, all the year review things are coming up. Do you have give me one low light, one highlight of 2023 in your sport? I'm surprising with this one a little bit before we get the hot takes for 24. But what was a highlight and a low light of the year that was 2023 for you in the world of sports?
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that. I took notes earlier on for what we were going to talk about, but you know what? I'm going to give a highlight. I'm just going to say Ohtani Mania. That was awesome to watch him do what 100%. He did this year, coming off an MVP season and then doing what he did again and delivering both on the mound and at the plate. I guess it's not a singular highlight, obviously, but what he was able to accomplish under pressure with a shitty franchise, like I tip my hat to that guy, and I'm looking forward to see what happens with him in Los Angeles Dodgers.
You know, it was funny that my sister was here the other night. She watches baseball. She's a sports fan, but she was quite funny, and she was looking at me like I was the biggest fucking idiot on the planet, saying that because I kind of thought when the Ohtani watch a few weeks back going to Toronto, and she says he was never coming to Toronto. Like, he lives in LA. He's got the Dodgers have more money than everybody else. He was never coming. I was like, well, she goes, no. Like, why? And she was almost like she big sistered me big time. Like, I was like,
how could you be so stupid?
You're stupid. Yeah. You're an idiot for even thinking that. She big sistered me hard on Tuesday night after it was all said and done, talking about Ohtani. Yeah, it was probably the story of the year where he was going to sign, and it turned out to not be the story of the year because he signed where everybody knew he was going to sign. Really, when it comes down to it, you know,
just a little bit of misdirection to drive up the final number, and that's what happened. But you know what he did on the field is like I have no problems with Shohei Ohtani. For me, he just comes and delivers. That's all he did all year.
The highlight of the year, I guess, of the sports story of the year for me, I think a little bit is just the Vegas Golden Knights winning the Stanley Cup in their fifth year, I think it is, of existence, and how teams, and they did it with not skullduggery, I guess is one way of putting it, but with having creative accounting, and they figured out how to do it, and then that's the wave of the future in sports, and you see it a lot, and like every sport has it now. We'll put this guy here, and everything else. To me, that's almost the story in sports, not just Vegas, but the story in sports to me is the way analytics and accounting is actually they're the MVPs of professional sports now. And I don't think you're going to get away from it. It's an odd situation that we have now, that the teams that have, yes, you got to have big payrolls. There's no getting around that. But the creative accounting and analytics, how it's taken over the sports world, is huge. It's bigger than any athlete.
No, you're right, and that's the unsung heroes. Like we just spent way too much time talking about coaches and what makes if a coach is overrated and underrated. What about the fucking bean counter in the bottom? If we do this and then do this and do this to here, oh yeah, it allows so much flexibility. And if you have a competent GM that is in lockstep with it, it brings it back to Moneyball. Moneyball, yeah. Obviously, it was a real fictionalized account of what happens, but that's all sports right now, if you're going to run a successful franchise, the one who acquires talent has to be in lockstep of the person that is moving the money around. And like, how can we do this? What affords this? And this affords this. If we get rid of him, we can afford 2 players that do this. Right? It's that's what it is. It's so much more analytical driven.
You still need stars to win.
Correct. What are we paying for?
The ability to get stars and what their dollar value is. It's amazing. It's mesmerizing. You still need your top, like a hockey team, your top tier guys. With a baseball team, you still need your top 2 or 3 pitcher or 2. You still need 2 good starters and one through 4 hole guys got to be able to hit. In football, you still need now you don't even need a great quarterback. You need a serviceable quarterback, right? But you need certain guys in certain positions and make it all work. And it's mesmerizing to me how the bean counters and the guys who can work a spreadsheet are just as important as anybody else. It's crazy to me.
Is that in lockstep with the talent evaluators? Okay, so we got this much money to spend. How do we spend this money? And finding those value-driven contracts, I think, is what makes teams championship caliber going forward.
And like now winning one instead of a dynasty, winning one is more important than ever, because a dynasty, it's going to be tough to do. No, like from sports from here on in, it's going to be so tough.
I agree. Like 2 and 5 years is now going to be the new.
That's considered a dynasty now.
Yeah,
like the Chiefs are almost considered a dynasty. And what are they really like?
Well, they got 2, been 3 in the last 4 years, right? So.
Right, so is that a dynasty? Because they aren't going to win one this year. I shouldn't say not.
It's not a dynasty, and that's a thing that kind of fucking pisses me off.
Yeah.
Well, these are the new dynasties. No.
Well, dynasty.
A dynasty is a dynasty. Like that.
I think a dynasty is 3 in a row, 4 and 5, like 4 in a row. Like that's a dynasty.
Yeah. At absolute fucking minimum, back to back. Without a 0.5 in there.
I think you need a trifecta.
Yeah.
I think you got to win 3 in a row.
So Chicago is the only dynasty in NHL in the last since
they didn't win 3 in a row.
They won 3 and 5, didn't they?
Yeah, and so did what did
LA won 2 and LA won 2 and 4.
Yeah.
And then
no, they're not dynasties. You got to win 3 in a row.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, and listen, after I just said, like, no, you can't call it that, but then even I'm watering it down. The Patriots were a dynasty. I don't know if they ever, but they never won 3 in a row, but they won 6 and 15.
Yeah.
They won back to back.
The Penguins, the Yankees, the Oilers, right? The Islanders. You want to go way back.
You got to go back to back, and then
they got the third. At least you can't take more than 2 years off.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
There we go.
If you win back to back, year off, win another one, you're a dynasty.
Yeah. You need 3
and 4,
3 and 5 years, but you need a back to back.
Gotta have a back-to-back, anyways.
We've
screaming hot takes. We're just around the corner from 2024. Give me a screaming hot take, something you think is going to happen in the sporting world of 2024.
It's kind of funny. I wrote these down a little bit earlier when you wanted to talk about a screaming hot take, and I wrote it down. And then not 5 minutes ago, I was pumping the tires of one Shohei Ohtani and the LA Dodgers. My hot take, the LA Dodgers are going to miss the playoffs this year.
100%.
All right. I guess that wasn't that screaming hot a take.
No, no. And here's my reasoning, Dave. Here's my reasoning. The Dodgers still don't have a pitching staff. They
don't have a staff.
Yamamoto from Japan. They signed him to $350 million as well, whatever it was. So they spent $1 billion on two players from Japan. And one guy's a 25-year-old starter. He's going to be good, but I don't think he's going to be that kind of a guy. The first year,
an anchor of a
that's going to be great
staff.
Because the thing with those Japanese pitchers, they like to pitch a lot and they throw a lot. And the first year, he's going to only be pitching 4 or 5 innings, load management, because that's what Major League Baseball is now. Save the guy's arm, because now the arm's an asset compared to what it was in Japan. And so now his value is not going to go up to maybe his second or third year. Ohtani is just a DH this year. Yes, he's going to be very good. Yes, he's probably going to hit 40 home runs, but he's only going to be up at bat once, like 4 times a game.
Like how many games can you win?
How many games can you win batting 4 times a game?
Right.
And the thing with the Dodgers is they didn't win the division. They didn't go to the finals last year. That was the Arizona. They have great pitching, and they went and got that Rodriguez from Detroit. So their pitching staff's actually already better in Arizona, which is odd to say that Arizona is a better team that spends $85 million.
Young, cheap talent. Right.
There was already in the World Series, so they kind of have a thing going on. So no, it's a great hot take, but yeah, you're 100% right. I don't think the Dodgers are making the playoffs.
Yeah, and then San Fran's always good, and who knows what's going to happen with San Diego.
San Diego, I think San Diego's going to be better by subtraction this year. They're getting rid of some guys who were a bit of headaches, but they still have some great talent there. Right?
Yeah.
So,
well, that was my take. Obviously, it wasn't that hot.
No,
this time next year, Russell Wilson is wearing the black and gold of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ooh. I think that might happen, Dave, for the simple reason that Mike Tomlin's going to be fighting for his job. Right? Because he's been kind of given that. We talked about a while ago, and Jim's fan of the van. We'll listen to him all the time. He said, like, maybe it's time for a coaching change there and everything else, but he's going to be fighting for a job because nobody wants to get fired or released or let go or whatever it might be. And I think that maybe that might be a last-ditch effort because Kenny Pickett's not the guy. I think he's a first-round bust. That's the way it is. It happens. It's no big deal. I could be 100% wrong, but I think that you're going to have Tomlin being I got to do something to save my job, and you know what? And this is the guy that's available. I think that's a very good take. I really do. I really, really believe that. That will he win? Who knows? But it might be a Tomlin thing saying,
I can trust this guy to.
I need to put this on. Actually, you know what? Even better take. I'm going to put it on this guy and put it on the GM. Oh, he is the GM. I'm going to put it on somebody else to agree with me to sign Russell Wilson so I don't look bad when we don't win. Make sense?
What's more likely at this time next year? What's more likely? Russell Wilson quarterbacking the Pittsburgh Steelers or Mike Tomlin coaching the Pittsburgh Steelers? With 2 weeks to go in the NFL season. What's more likely?
Oh, that's a tough one because I think that Tomlin's going to make the deal, but then the ownership's going to say, you know what, we bet on that. Russ Wilson being the quarterback over Tomlin being the coach, and they don't fire coaches ever.
And they don't fire coaches, like yeah.
But eventually they're going to be like, you know what, dude, we fucking listened to you and you fucking blew it again.
Yeah, I think Russ Wilson is a match for that for what I honestly think it's what they need.
I could just see Jim, the fan of the van, wearing number 8, Wilson on the back of his jersey. Stogie and his yap, fucking bitching about Wilson this time next year.
I got 2 more.
There we go.
LeBron James next year will be, you know what? I started that and then I remembered we don't give a fuck. So I'll just put that one away. So
LeBron James next year will be the 2-time MVP of the in-season tournament. And he will be raising a banner at the Crypto.com arena this time next year for his second consecutive in-season tournament with Bronny by his side in a Lakers jersey after Bronny opts out of his second year at USC.
Does LeBron pay for rings for the team then too?
He does, because nobody, even the ownership, doesn't care.
Yeah, like, you know, maybe just like a fucking one of those little silver pinky rings.
You bring zirconium from Jostens from the high school rings he used to get. That's my prediction. Bronny and LeBron are wiping a tear from each other's faces after the Lakers win their second consecutive in-season tournament.
And here's my hottest of hot takes.
I like a hot take.
I don't think the Leafs are going to re-sign Nylander. I don't think they're going to do another thing. I think they're going to save room. And this time at next year, Connor McDavid is wearing a Maple Leaf uniform.
Ooh, I like that take. I like that take a lot.
I don't think he's going to go to the States. I think his, like, the writing's on the wall. He's not going to leave with this bunch of jock sniffing assholes in Edmonton. And he's going to say, and then his agent's going to put the word out and say, don't sign Nylander. Fucking get your draft picks together and get ready to send him to Edmonton, because I want out of this. I want out of this fucking
I
thing.
like that a lot, for the simple fact that most of those Ontario kids, they end up going home to Ontario, playing for the Leafs, win a cup at home.
They want to win a cup,
they
no,
do.
for sure.
It happens all the time. It's been happening.
Tavares and
Steve Thomas back in fucking 1997. It's been happening for those guys. All go back to Ontario to want to win a cup in Ontario, in Toronto for the Leafs, and I think you're going to see that. I don't even know where the Oilers are right now. They're a playoff fringe team right now. But
they're not a threat because they don't have.
They're not a threat.
They don't have
they're just not good enough. They're just not good enough. And I could see McDavid saying, you know what, I am, and I like your Nylander take on that, because he's not signed. He said he wasn't going to negotiate during the season, and he's putting up big numbers, really big numbers. He's their leading scorer, I think. And that's not a bad. That's a really good take, actually. I like that take a lot. Like I can see him, because he's the most powerful guy in the game. He is. He can say, "You're trading me, and I don't care what you say. You're trading me. Like, I'm done here. I have 2 more years left in my deal. You're trading me to here. Make it happen, or I just won't play this year. I'll go to Europe."
Yeah, and I'm a bargain. Like, I'm a bargain at this price
at 11.5 or whatever, 12.5,
and
whatever
that's, it is. And then Nylander's asking for 13.
Nylander's going to get that.
So I'll give Toronto 2 years to this. Make it fucking happen.
And that's the one thing about the NHL, is that these guys that because they can market themselves in the towns a lot more, and they don't almost say depend on that money, but they can utilize that money more, and their agents can get that money that helps out the contract leverage a little bit. Like, it's like, because they're not getting 40, 50, 60 million dollars deals.
And McDavid is one of the few players that doesn't matter to him anymore. Right, like he's
already got this deal, that deal.
I got my bank, right? I want to win.
I want to win.
And you know what? It's not.
And if he can win, if he can win one in Toronto, why not?
Whew.
They named every school after him. We tell this all the time. They name every school after him. There's fucking roads, fucking parkways. They'll rename the CN Tower, for fuck's sake.
He would make Derek Jeter look like a fucking
100%.
Bench
nothing.
Where you bet? Yeah.
No, that's a great take. That they walk away from Nylander, because the Tavares deal's up after next year. Connor McDavid's elite after next season. You heard it here first on the 1420 Sports Bar podcast. 4 Beer Sports Talk and a whole lot more on the 28th of December, 2023 from Dave Van Robe's mouth. That's a good take.
I'd love to see it, to tell you the truth, because
would you if the Leafs won, would you buy a jersey?
No. I still hate the Leafs. I can't cheer for the Leafs. But
if the Leafs were playing
if Leafs with Connor McDavid were playing the Calgary Flames in the Stanley Cup playoffs, I'd cheer for the Leafs.
If the Leafs were playing, because they're the Eastern Conference, if the Leafs are playing Vegas, who are you cheering for?
Leafs.
If the Leafs are playing, oh Jesus, the Oilers.
I cheer for the Oilers.
Huh?
Yeah, so like we're divorced, but like I cheer for if the Leafs if the Leafs got to the Stanley Cup final, I would cheer for Colorado to beat them. I would cheer for the Oilers to beat them. I would cheer for Vancouver to beat them. I would cheer for the Kings to beat them. It's very few teams I would give them the
I didn't see a Vancouver take on that.
No, neither me, but I don't think it's going to happen, even though Vancouver's the best team in the fucking league right now.
You know what? And it's actually because Jim and
you had Vancouver friends,
Vancouver people
family,
were this week, and they were talking. I said, "Yeah, you're Canucks." He goes, "They're frauds. They're frauds. They're not that good. They're gonna bow in the playoffs. They got which is odd because they got a great goaltender. They got just no hope. They got a great goaltender. Thatcher Demko's a great goaltender. National Hockey.
He's so good. Yeah.
And then you have the leading scorer defenseman. You have fucking Brock Besser, who can't help but score goals. On and on and on it goes.
And a good coach.
And a good coach, Rick Talkin, who's got some grit to him. What more do you want, you fuckers? There's no way. I don't even watch. I'll watch in April. Enjoy it while you can.
Sounds like our friend Aaron from Brutally Honest.
They're fucked. I don't even know why I watch.
I don't know why I watch. They just fucking let me down every time. And the Vancouver Canuck fan, that's a valid thing. Yeah. They do let you down every time.
They do let you down. There's not a lot of success in that franchise, and it's just Jesus. What the 82, 94, and 2011 3 Stanley Cup finals. Not now.
Yeah, let's lose and burn our city down, you fucking morons.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, unbelievable. Anyways, Dave, fun show tonight. All of a sudden, we started off with one thing, went to another, and it was good. Hour and 30 whatever minutes, and yeah, it was good.
Well, no, I hope we enlighten people and confuse them. And maybe made you say
I wouldn't put any fucking bets on what we have to say, but yeah, it's
wow. It's like when you went screaming hot, I'll give you screaming hot.
No, I like that Leaf steak. That's fucking great.
I got a would you rather as well.
Hey, go nuts.
Okay, it's a holiday would you rather.
Oh, I like those.
So being the holiday season, right? You go out and you have a cocktail here and there, and you need a ride.
Yeah.
So let's pretend from December 7th, when I think the Christmas party season starts, to January 7th, when New Year's Eve, the holiday season's over. For that month.
January 8th, yeah. January 8th after fucking Merry Christmas.
Would you rather have a limo at your disposal, or would you rather drive that limo?
Oh, so if I'm driving a limo, I'm picking people up and listening, right?
Right. You're for hire. So you're going to be here for the day. You're going to pick them up, get them to the bar, and you're going to get them to wherever they want.
I want to say 50-50 because I like to do a little bit of both.
At this age, right? Not when you're 20. When we're in our 20s, we want the limo.
So I want to hear the stories because I love a good story, man. If I'm 49, if I'm sitting in the front seat of that car, if I can pick the time I'm driving, if I'm not working New Year's Eve, but if I can get to 11 o'clock, picking people up. Just listen to the stories in the back. I'm not. I don't want to watch. I'll put the glass up. Right?
No, fuck. I'm glass down, rear mirror right in the back.
You never guess what I saw, honey. Fuck.
Because when you're renting a limo, like, you know, the people that have a limo at their disposal all the time, it's a cab.
No, I would,
in the Christmas season.
Like when I was 25, probably like have it at my disposal to drive me around, whatever. But now that I'm 49, I'd rather drive that motherfucker around and just listen to the stories and the fucking hype. Oh my God, fuck, are you stupid? Because I used to have, like, when in my old life, when I worked construction, I would have this rule: if you're under the age of 24, you couldn't talk because you're going to say something stupid. And it was just a rule. Like, it was just a rule. Like, I was the boss, and like, fuck, shut up. Would you shut up? But if they're paying me to just drive them around, I wouldn't say that, because people under the age of 24, they say a lot of really stupid things. And then when they're inebriated and I want to go here. She's on. Fuck. It would be, but I wouldn't say a word. I wouldn't say, but to listen to that would be priceless.
The shenanigans, because like the way I picture, right? Like you're for hire. Like, so this group of people, this group of people hires you for the night. Like, you're gonna get them to the party by 9:00, and pick them up at 2. And then if you could just, like, as a cab driver, like, or as a limo driver, take a picture when you pick them up, take a picture when you drop them off.
There was a great show back it was on HBO years. This is like 96, 97. It was called Taxi Cab Confessions in New York City. So it was that. It wasn't it was like the cab would show there's a camera. The conversation, like, holy fuck, this is odd. This is strange.
Just people talking to the cab driver.
And they didn't know there was a camera until after when the conversation was over. The cabbie
would, here's $50. Can we?
The cabbie would tell them, can we put this on HBO because there was a camera recording this? They're like, yeah, fuck, whatever. And it was like, ooh, yeah. So no, I would way rather be a picker up than a pick up now.
Yeah, because
the stories would be like, what the fuck? Like, just
driving a cab would be ridiculous. Like, I wouldn't want that. But no, so like they're paying for your service for a night, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
No, I think, yeah, for sure. At this age, without a doubt, I would rather drive that limo than ride that limo.
Yeah, have a laugh, because Jesus. Because then,
you know what? And showing up as a limo.
Okay, am I allowed to, if somebody says something a bit like stupid, am I allowed to turn? Fuck. Do you hear yourself?
You're allowed to do whatever you want. Like, it's your limo, your ride. You're doing it for a month. Like, you're only doing it for 1 month. You can do whatever you want.
Fuck.
Without breaking the law.
The stories you would see.
The shit you would see would be hilarious.
And then coming, actually, even better, like if you came home to Kaylee and I came home to Yan, and how's your night? Like, holy, like that would be funny. Like the cup of coffee or whatever at night, we're sitting having a meal.
Oh, you got home.
Oh, you should have heard what this fucking Jezebel said. Or whatever. So
who'd you drive last night? What were they doing?
You wouldn't believe how stupid these people are.
And especially, yes, because honestly, like, I don't know half the shit my kid is talking about sometimes.
Not a clue.
And now when I get to the drinkers in their 20s, it's like, oh, fuck. I don't even know. I'm on a different planet. Like, I got old real quick.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think I want to think I'm a little hip, but when I hear fucking youngins talk a little bit and start having fun, but I don't fucking know. I'm just here to make sure you get home safely. Like, you know, that's all I do anymore.
But then it would be fun. It would be a lot of fun, actually, on the other side of things, when like, 'cause they would see we're logical, I guess. And it'd be really fun to if, say, the girl in the back seat leaned over. So, I know this guy. So, what do you think? And, okay, listen, honey. He doesn't care.
But there's the thing that
That's the advice you could give to the younger folk. It would be a lot of fun.
mean,
It'd be a lot of fun.
Well, it would be kind of fun because there was one of those trips. It was let's go to Denny's and have breakfast, right? Like, yeah, let's go for a bite to eat. Okay, let's go for a bite to eat. But like, I gotta eat too. Oh, don't worry about it. We'll grab it. And you sit down with these fucking knuckleheads.
And then, so I met this guy, and listen, he doesn't like you.
And then the other guy, like, so I'm really trying hard with this girl, and she doesn't.
He doesn't like you either. Just quit it, man.
She don't like
Is she here with you? No, then she doesn't like you. It's 2 a.m. If she liked you, she would be here with us right now.
Have you talked to her? Well, I texted her. Well, don't fucking text her. Get in her fucking face.
You barely like her, you pussy. It'd be a lot of fun, actually.
It would be. It would actually be somewhat enlightening, as old fucks like we are right now, because we used to rule the roost. Well, we ruled the roost.
We had a pretty good time here in Leopard Jump. Good time, boys. When we were coming in hot, and people knew we were coming. And that's not a fallacy. That's not a fallacy.
We left a mark.
We did leave a mark, whether it was a skid mark or a nice mark, who knows? But it was a mark. It was Jesus Christ.
And at this age too, I have no desire to get dropped off in a limo. That's a little pretentious, right? Like, that's a young kid's game.
The last time I got dropped off in a limo, fuck.
I was in my 20s. I was in a limo at a couple different weddings, and that was it.
Las Vegas, this is about 10, 12 years ago. Fucking the cab line was huge, eh? Deanne walked up to the Tommy, what the fuck was it? It was an Italian guy. Tommy, what the fuck was it? Doesn't matter.
Tommy No Guts.
Whatever, yeah. Deanne walks up, $40 to go down to Fremont. She was like, yeah, absolutely. $40. So four or five of us, this guy, he had fucking a box of Coors Light in the back. What's that? The shot with the Fireball. He had a bottle of Fireball, and he was going to wait. As soon as we called him, he'd come take us back to the strip. Yeah, good. So we jumped in this limo. Tommy, yeah, what the fuck was his name?
And he was a limo for hire. He wasn't there for anybody. That was his.
Yeah, he was just there at this fucking at the hotel we were at. He's just like, yeah, good. All right. $40, good. Had drinks for us in the back of his car.
Because that's about a $30 cab ride, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was perfect. Yeah. Like, all right. I mean, it wasn't the greatest limo. It was a limo. Like, it was a.
Well, you know what? And
it looked like a limo, right? Like, it was. And in Vegas, it dropped off. Fuck off! Like, I'm not pulling up to the fucking Sandman in a limo now.
As you're in Vegas, like you don't care. Whatever. Like when you're on holidays, you don't give a fuck. Right?
Yeah, like I'm not pulling up to the Sandman here in Lethbridge in a fucking limo.
I'd rather pull up in a Segway than a limo to the Sandman.
On foot on a parka. Can't afford a ride. I started walking yesterday.
Goddamn skateboard, yeah.
Started walking yesterday to get here. Jesus Christ. Anyways, Dave, that was a lot of fun. Good show tonight.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Our last show of the year. Like we say, I'm going down to Montana tomorrow. I will be available. We'll talk off air. Hopefully, have a talk before the grand game. My Blue against that cursed Crimson Tide. We'll see what happens there on New Year's Day. And yeah, I'm looking forward getting some days away with my boy and my wife, and we're gonna kick some ass down there.
Yeah, I'm off to Medicine Hat tomorrow to do Christmas with Deanne's family, and then we have Deanne's parents' anniversary on Saturday night, then back here Sunday, and then finish up the old 1420 World Headquarters, get that all knotted up, and then put a bow on that, and then come back here and start the new year off fresh on probably maybe Monday we'll do a quick hit about the football game, and then Tuesday we'll hit our full stride on Tuesday night.
You know what? I should stink some fireworks up, and then we can do a nice, good Greek Christmas with you at the new house. Fucking Treat those neighbors right. Let them know what they're getting into.
The new neighbors may as well fucking tell them how things are going to go around here. I'll show those fuckers been around here for 30 years. Yeah, I'll show that fucking Leighton next door.
Wake them lazy pricks up. Yeah.
Why are you sleeping? Let's go. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 Beer Sports, talking a whole lot more. Take care of yourself, and more importantly, take care of yourself so you around. Can you stick on the ice? And what else, Dave?
I want Jim to not swing at high pitches. Good seeing you again, brother. Have a great new year. Have a great new year, everybody. We'll talk to you on 2024.
Have a good night, folks. We'll talk to you. Yeah, we'll talk to you probably on 2024, guaranteed. Probably on before the football game's on. We'll quick little hit on Monday there, and then hit the ground running on Tuesday on January 2nd. Have a good night, folks. We'll talk to you again on 2024.
Good night, everybody.
Once again, 'cause I know how these things end.